Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be teaming up with my girl A. It's Amanda. We haven't done a Team Up Tuesday in quite a while. And what are we going to be discussing today? Well, we're going to be teaming up to give you a review on the re-release of the Pat McGrath Mothership IV Decadence palette. So if you want to see how I got this look using that palette, then just keep watching. I am going to be not only talking to you and showing you in a side-by-side on how I got this look, I'm also going to be showing you my Pat McGrath collection while I'm showing you how I got this look. So hang on tight guys, and we'll get into the video next. I'm so excited today because I am teaming up with my girl Hey, it's Amanda. I have not done that in quite a while because we have not done a Team Up Tuesday in quite a while, and I am so excited to be doing another Team Up Tuesday with her. I love her. If you have not been to Amanda's channel, I know most of you have, but if you haven't, go check her out guys, because you're gonna love her. We are kind of a mom-daughter team. I'm the mama, if you haven't figured out. I'm the over 50 partner of this collab, and she's my baby girl. We have a love of the same type of makeup, but you know, she's a lot younger than me, and so she brings a different perspective to the table. We have a ball whenever we team up, and we are teaming up today to show you two different looks, two different takes on the re-release of Pat McGrath's Mothership IV Decadence palette. This palette, for some reason, it has a cult classic following, and people love this palette. So I got ready today, as you'll see in the clip. I was wearing a red shirt. I thought I was gonna go with more of the reddish coppery tones. Took a turn and went with my gut, and I went into the blues, and I can say I'm not sorry that I did. The packaging is a jewel crown looking packaging. I rather like the packaging on this palette. It is in classic Pat McGrath fashion. The packaging is not the original black, but this packaging is in a gold tone package. You open it up and it comes with her 10 shades, and these are more of a crystalline type shade, metallic. None are matte. Absolutely none are matte. So this is the top row, and we have Gold Standard, Inferno, Blue Blood, Sinful, and Underworld on the top row. And going into the bottom row, we have Sterling, Lapis Luxury, Divine Mink, Hedonistic, and Enigma. So that's the shades, all 10 shades in the palette. And they're just beautiful, but like I said, there's really no mattes whatsoever. So are they appropriate for mature eyes? Well, I think so. I've never shied away from a shimmer in the crease. I love Charlotte Tilbury shadows, and they really don't have mattes either. But as you can see, once I apply to my transition, I do take a big fluffy brush and I just blend that out and diffuse that out very, very nicely. And it really doesn't show with higher quality shadows. They just don't show creasing, they don't show texture, they don't show wrinkles. So I don't really have a problem with that. And I think that the look that I got out of the palette is just absolutely stunning. I put this one in my crease. This is what I used for my crease shade, for my transition shade. And then I went in a little darker with this one and built that up. And then all over my lid, I used this shade right here. Then I went in with the shade, and it just complemented each other so well. And then I built up a little bit deeper with this shade right here, and I just think it turned out so well. And I was wearing the red shirt, and I was like, you know, this was the shirt that I started to go with, and I was like, let me put on the blue shirt because that will really make the look pop. So that's what I did. So the palette is, of course, her standard $125. You can usually get a 10% off coupon if you sign up for early access, so you get a little bit of a break that way by going to the Pat McGrath website and signing up, and you get like a VIP access code for 10% off, and that's what I did. And that's a little bit off, at least $12.50. So that's something. So I went ahead and ordered this, and I'm glad that I did, because I really wanted to have this palette that I could play in and really see, you know, is the hype real? Is it worth it? You know, what did I think personally of the palette? And I have to say, I really like the look that I created with this one. I like blue eyeshadow looks, and so there's some good blues in this palette. So now I thought that it'd be fun just to show you a little bit of my Pat McGrath collection. So one of my favorite of all time Pat McGrath palettes, this is the Pat McGrath Mothership Midnight Sun eyeshadow palette. Out of all of the Pat McGrath palettes that I have, this is fighting for top place in my collection. This is a gorgeous palette, and you know that I love a good warm tone look, and this palette really brings it. It has this beautiful, beautiful violet shade right here, and this is such a pretty, pretty color. What isn't good about this palette, to me personally, is that these two shades right here, this one and this one, are really not very usable, in my opinion, on my eye because of my mature age. This color here and this color here are more toppers. They're pretty flaky, and they can tend to have a little bit of fallout to me, and so I tend to stay away from these just because, like I said, they're very transparent. They're more of a eyeshadow topper than an actual eyeshadow shade, but you can create some beautiful looks with them as that topper, some very dramatic shades. But these two right here are amazing. And I love this green shade right here. It's just so good. And the mattes can't be beat in this palette. I love this palette. This palette is the Mothership V Bronze Seduction. This is not one of my favorites. This palette has some really pretty special shades in it, as in this duochrome right here is really, really pretty. It has kind of a green cast, but yet it shifts. So this is a very, very pretty special shade, and this red shade right here could not be prettier. It's absolutely gorgeous. This just really isn't one of my favorite palettes. I'm just not that big of a fan of this one. If I had to choose, this would be one that I actually could probably skip over. The looks are just, to me, not, it's just a brown eye, unless you're talking about the special shades in here. This one's not the one that really gets me going. It's a pretty palette. It's just not extra special. So That's the Bronze Seduction. I just think she has a lot prettier palettes. It's not bad, it's just not my favorite. Vying for first place is, this one is called the Mothership Divine Rose. It is so gorgeous. This palette is so beautiful. Now, maybe if I could only have one Pat McGrath palette, then it would either be this one or it would be, what is this one? I can never keep up. Midnight Sun. It would be this one or Midnight Sun, of course. And I just can't make up my mind because the purple in the Midnight Sun is so gorgeous, but this pink right here is absolutely to die for. And I think I love every single shade except for one in this palette. So there's more usable shades in this palette. This corally pink, I mean, look at it. It's to die for. I love, love, love this palette. And you can make so many looks with this palette. It's got this shifting duochrome white that shifts pink. It's to die for. It is just to die for. This is such a gorgeous palette. It is so pretty. Oh, this is probably the one I would have to go with because I just love rosy pink mauve tone palettes. I love the packaging. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. It can't get any prettier than this. I mean, her packaging is to die for anyway, but it's like, yes, bring it. This is probably in my third place as my all-time fave. And that is the Mothership II Sublime. And this is so beautiful because it has the most prettiest green and pinks. And there's really no shade in here that I won't use. It's absolutely gorgeous. This green is just the prettiest color ever. It's so good. The special shade in here is so pretty. I mean, for St. Patrick's Day, for sometime whenever you need a green shadow, it's so good. And the pink rosy shade that goes with it is, it's so pretty. This is another palette that's definitely in third spot. I'm ranking these for you too as we go. For some reason, every time I see this palette, I don't know what it is, but I think of Silence of the Lambs every single time I see this. I don't know why. In fourth place is this palette, and this is the Mothership I Subliminal. I love this palette. There's just something about this palette that really calls to me. I love the cool tone, mauvey. I just love it. I love this shade right here. It's dirty, but it has a blue shift to it that goes with this shade right here, and I love this blue shade. There's just something about this one, and it's kind of one of those shade toppers too, but it's not real crystal, like, you know, it's not going to it's not chunky, it's not glittery, it's really smooth, so it just looks so good. I love this shade. It is so pretty. This shade right here that's like a yellowy gold, it's a different kind of gold because it really is yellow. It's just, I don't know, it's like a taffeta gold or something like that, something like clothing that you would wear. I really like doing looks with this one. I've done a look with this palette on my channel before. Maybe for the Pantone Color of the Year I used this one, and I also love the small palette that goes with this one that looks like this. So I have the big one, I have the small one. It looks like this, and the looks that you get out of this palette right here is just to die for. It's so, so pretty. I had a really hard time finding this palette, but it is so worth it. And this one just screams Bowie to me. Whenever I look at this palette on the front, I mean, I'm not really sure who this is, but it looks like Bowie to me. So whenever I think about this palette, I just think about Bowie. So I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be or not, but that's what I think about. And I love the bright plums in here. I just think it's really rich looking, and I just love the colors. And this blue is really good too, because of course, you know, it's a duochrome, it shifts, it's one of the special shades, so of course it's pretty, and that's what it looks like. Oh, so good. I just love the special shades. There's plenty of mattes in that one as well, which I really appreciate. I have its baby palette that goes with it, and this is what it looks like, so it's really pretty as well. And for the rest of my baby palettes, this is the Mothership Sublime Golden Opulence. This was released for Lunar New Year this year, and quite honestly, I have not had a chance to play with this yet, but I did love the color story in here, so I picked this up, and I'm a big fan of Lunar New Year releases. It's a long story why I love Lunar New Year. So anyway, I do love Lunar New Year. And I have the Mothership Sublime Bronze Temptation. I really don't like this palette. I can't stand it. Out of all of the palettes from Pat McGrath, this is probably the one I like the least. You can't really do a look with this. The transition is too dark. The whole thing's too dark. It's just too dark. It is too dark. It's not good. I'm not a fan. I have the one that's blue. I didn't get the pink one. I wish I would have gotten the pink one too, but I didn't. This one I actually like pretty good. It has a good black in it, which is always good. It's got a good violet. But yeah, the pink one's probably the best one out of the three, and it's the one I didn't get. So yeah, I just totally screwed that whole purchase up. I have this little one that is a quad of just special shades, and I just like this little quad. I like this brown shade right here. It's just a really pretty special shade, and that's really what I got it for, was the brown in here. It does have a really pretty, this is kind of a lilac-y, mauve-y rose as well. And then it's got this one that's kind of a gold duochrome, really light, almost topper shade. And it's got this yellow. So you can barely see the yellow. But I really got it for the brown and this shade, this mauve right here. And I don't know how close, I know I don't really have anything like this. I don't know how close this would be to anything in the Divine Rose, so not sure, but I do love this little quad palette. If I had have realized how much I was going to love those, I probably would have picked up more of little quads. And I love how convenient and small that those are. So that is my entire Pat McGrath collection. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing that. I hope that you like the look that I put together. I'll come in and let you see it. I think that a mature eye can wear this palette. I know that as mature women, a lot of times we shy away from more metallics in the crease, metallics in the transition area, but I don't really think that we have to. I just think that we need to buff them in really well. So a great brush to go in and blend your crease out with, and just make sure that it's really good and diffused. If you're going to be using something like a metallic or a shimmer in the transition area, would be something like the BK Beauty 201 or the Farrah 35. This is the 35E. Yes, the Farrah 35E. Something that has a little bit of strength to it, that can just get in there and really buff it in good to where it's not going to be shiny or anything. It can just kind of take that shine down just a little bit and really buff it in there. And I think that that's fine. I mean, I don't really see anything that's showing texture or making my lid look like it's old or showing wrinkles or texture or anything that I don't want to see. So I hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope that you enjoy the final look and seeing my Pat McGrath collection. Let me know, did you pick this up? Did you pass on this palette? Are you a Pat McGrath fan? Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking about it. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, guys. And I hope that you're having a great day and everyone out there is staying safe. Don't forget, keep wearing your mask, keep sanitizing. Don't let your guard down just yet, peeps. Keep it up. Love you guys so much, and smooches. See you in my next video, guys. Bye till next time.